Thank you for joining us. I came dressed to pick up trash today. I did not get the memo that said we were coming in suits and ties. So, it's always a pleasure to introduce the governor. The initiatives that he has started and made work in the state of Pennsylvania is a long list, and this is yet another idea that working with the municipalities is going to help make Pennsylvania a better place. So with that, Governor Wolf.
Thank you very much. So, thank you, Mike, for introducing me. Now, one of the things I like best about this job is I am a native Pennsylvanian. I grew up across the Susquehanna Ocean, is that what we call it here in New York County? But I'm a Pennsylvanian. I love this Commonwealth, and I think that there are parts of the state that rival anywhere in the world that I've ever seen. I mean, we are really a beautiful place. I know we talk about Penn's Woods and all that kind of stuff, but this is a beautiful state, and I love bragging about it. I also am critical of us when we aren't doing our best to show off our great beauty. And I think litter is one of the things that we really need to work on. It's something we can all, each of us, 13 million Pennsylvanians, can lend a hand to make sure that we don't hide under a bushel basket, that we keep our beauty from being a secret, that we make sure everybody knows that. Again, we're home to over 13 million people, and here's a statistic that might be interesting to you. More than 500 million pieces of litter, 500 million pieces of litter on our roads and highways. That's way too much trash. Litters are highways. And by the way, if you're coming into Pennsylvania from out of state, it's a especially bad thing. I mean, it's a sign that says, hey, we're a state that believes in just junk and garbage. I don't want that. That's not my state. So it's bad for the environment, obviously, and Secretary McDonald's going to talk about that in a minute. It's a health hazard. It's an eyesore. It lowers property values. And again, if we're trying to do economic development, we're trying to attract people who want to live in Pennsylvania, trying to attract people who want to work in Pennsylvania, businesses want to locate in Pennsylvania. What kind of message are we sending when you come across the state border and see garbage, you see litter? So it's a drain. It's also a drain on taxpayer dollars. If you look at, say, the 9 biggest cities in Pennsylvania, Mayor, I think maybe you have the same, you're one of those 9 cities, but together you spent $68.5 million, taxpayer money, cleaning up the streets. $68.5 million. That's $68.5 million that could be going to support organizations like Tech Central, could be going to support education, could be actually building bridges and repairing our roads. Instead, we're spending that money just trying to keep trash off our streets, trying to keep trash out of our parks and out of our waterways. Now, the nice thing about this is it's something we can all have something to do with. It's not something we can just point the finger and say it's someone else's job. And that's why I'm proud to be here today to announce Pennsylvania's Litter Action Plan. Pennsylvania's Litter Action Plan. This plan is the blueprint for reducing litter, making Pennsylvania a cleaner, healthier, more beautiful place for all of us to live and work and raise our families. So I want to thank everybody who played a role, and you'll be hearing from some of them later today, this morning, for studying the problems that litter can cause and bringing forth common sense solutions, things we can do to fix this. And I especially want to thank the Department of Environmental Protection, Patrick McDonald, and the Department of Transportation, Secretary Gramian, for their hard work on this issue. We also have Carrie Lepore here from the Department of Community and Economic Development who's going to talk about this. But each and every Pennsylvanian, all of us, each of us, has a role to play. When you take the time and care to dispose of your trash properly, and speaking to all my fellow Pennsylvanians here, you're fighting litter. When you safely pick up and dispose of trash around your home, around your business, or around your school, even if you're just walking down the street and you see some litter on the sidewalk, I could do it too. We could all just pick it up, throw it away. When you spread awareness about the problem of litter and the best ways to prevent it, you're fighting litter, and you're doing a great thing for our native state. I encourage everyone to read the Pennsylvania Litter Action Plan on DEP's website, the Department of Environmental Protection's website, dep.pa.gov, to learn more about how you can pitch in on this problem. In addition to proposals to fight litter at the statewide level, there's plenty of information there about how all of us can fight litter in our communities, in our businesses, our neighborhoods. Again, this is one of those things, everybody talks about this, but if we work together on this, little by little, we can make a big difference. We can all keep Pennsylvania as beautiful as we know it can be. So please join me in this fight to stop litter. Thank you, and now I'm going to turn this over to Department of Environmental Protection Secretary Patrick McDonald. Patrick.
Thank you, Governor, and good morning, everyone. My name is Pat McDonald. I'm the Secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, and it's a real pleasure to be here with you today as we set the stage for how we reduce litter across the Commonwealth. We've funded Pick Up Pennsylvania community litter cleanups and illegal dump site cleanups for over 2 decades, with thousands of Pennsylvanians volunteering to remove literally tons of trash from our lands, streams, and rivers. As littering has persisted, DEP partnered with Penndot and Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful to conduct the first statewide litter survey, specifying the nature and scale of the litter problem. For example, the cigarette butts discarded by people who may not know that they're not biodegradable. The plastic bottles that can leach chemicals for decades, while slowly degrading into microplastics, and the plastic wrap that rain can carry through a storm drain to the fish in our streams and rivers. Based on this research, the Litter Action Plan is Pennsylvania's roadmap out of the litter problem. Thank you to all the government, legislative, community, and business leaders who contributed their expertise and ideas to the plan, which lists many, many actions we can take in education, enforcement, and infrastructure to reduce littering. 2 things jump out. First, some of our communities are doing very innovative and hard work to reduce litter locally. City of Lancaster being amongst those. Second, we all must join to expand litter prevention efforts through our roles as state and local government leaders, legislators, business owners, and residents. DEP is committed to helping drive this statewide shift from litter cleanup to prevention. Our proposed rulemaking to permit development of small transfer stations in rural areas is moving through the regulatory process as we speak, adopted earlier this month by our Environmental Quality Board. This rulemaking will help ensure that Pennsylvanians living in areas where there is no economical way to offer curbside collection still have convenient ways to responsibly dispose of their trash and their recycling rather than illegally dumping it. We are also working with Penndot and the Department of Community and Economic Development on a litter awareness campaign that will begin next spring. We're exploring grant funding for litter prevention projects and other possibilities. If we all bring the same energy to litter prevention that thousands of residents have already brought to cleaning up litter in their communities, we'll turn a corner on Pennsylvania's trash problem and gain the personal, community, and economic benefits of a healthier environment. The pandemic over the past year and a half has underscored what we've always known: the importance of everyday access to clean, green spaces for all Pennsylvanians, whether we're out on a trail, kayaking a creek, or walking in a neighborhood, or driving home, is critical to our well-being. Thank you all very much, and now I'd like to turn over to my colleague, Deputy Secretary Sorace from Penndot.
Good morning, everybody. I am Penndot Deputy Secretary Jenny Sorace. Today is really an exciting day. It's about action, it's about possibilities, and as the governor has mentioned, litter isn't just an ugly and illegal problem we have. It costs our natural resources and our financial resources. So we at Penndot specifically see a major impact on our operations from litter. So we maintain over 40,000 miles of roadway and 150,000 roadside acres. So it's a pretty large magnitude. We spent nearly $14 million a year to clean up litter, and honestly, that is money that could go to actual infrastructure improvements, paving, bridges, roadways. We're grateful for the nearly 4,000 volunteers we have each year in our Adopt a Highway program. They conduct cleanups throughout the year, and they honestly save the taxpayers millions of dollars each year. But as a Commonwealth, we recognize we need to change behavior, not just clean up the mess. We need to change business practices. We need to watch penalties for littering. We took action, and that's what this plan does. But more specifically, with Penndot, we are analyzing where and how we can assure we have right litter-reducing tools in place in our public-facing facilities. We have been working with DEP and the Department of Community and Economic Development on an anti-litter campaign that you heard about that, yes, will be launched in the spring. And this summer, state police have initiated Operation Clean Sweep, which reinforces a zero-tolerance mindset with litter enforcement and shares anti-littering messages year-round. We're grateful this operation is continuing and that they are helping to enforce the litter enforcement corridors that we and local governments have designated to combat litter. Many of our sibling agencies have committed to working on anti-litter efforts, but we aren't stopping there. Everyone has a responsibility. As a state government, we cannot do this alone. We also need local governments, such as the City of Lancaster, individuals and businesses, and according to the governor, he is too picking up litter, and the state legislature. In fact, we are proud that more than 100 people from across these groups participated in our litter action plan efforts. We are encouraged by the work of our local partners, again, like the City of Lancaster, which was represented on those work groups. And we have appreciated the legislative and business participation as well, such as Representative Sturla. With this Commonwealth Litter Action Plan, we've provided examples, resources, and calls to action so we can make some transformative change in Pennsylvania. And I have the honor of introducing Lancaster Mayor Sorace today, but I want to end on one note, and this may show my age a little bit. And we've been working closely with policy. In the famous words of Woodsy the Owl, give a hoot, don't pollute.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am so excited to have you all here and to gather here in this place, Tech Centro, in the southeast of our city to talk about something that affects the entirety of our city, which is litter. And so in 2019, we started off in participating in the Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful cost study and learned that the city of Lancaster spends $2 million annually on litter and illegal dumping. That's about $36 per resident. And so as all the other speakers have pointed out, wouldn't it be great to put these dollars to use in some other way here in the city of Lancaster? I mean, $2 million is street paving, it is park renovations, it's street lights, it's a lot of different things. So when we were invited to participate in this action plan, I have to just say, Mike Danene and our solid waste and recycling program within the Department of Public Works has jumped into this. And this didn't start with just this project. We have over 140 blocks that have been adopted by residents who volunteer to clean up their blocks across the city. And today we're announcing something that's taking it just a little bit further. So let me tell you a little story about how all this happened. And it started with Jack Howell here, who's part of the Elm Street Initiative here in the Southeast, as well as Mike Danene in the Department of Public Works, and also Jack's wife, Ellen. So just to give you the whole story here, noticing that there were trash bags hanging off of our residents' porches. And, oh, what are they about? Oh, well, that's the solution to picking up and encouraging people to pick up litter. And so this makeshift litter receptacle was the seed of an idea and was really advanced through Jack and Mike. who took this concept, found a local manufacturer, had a prototype made, and hatched a plan to address litter block by block, which is in keeping with the strategic plan of the city to create a stronger, more equitable community block by block. And this is what they've created, this little prototype here. And we are prototyping this on Pershing Avenue. It is a branded Pershing Avenue Clean. And this is going to hang on the front of porches down the 500 block of Pershing Avenue. And we are so excited that this is locally manufactured, an idea that came from our residents that our team elevated in partnership with Jack and his wife, Ellen, to launch with the Lancaster County Solid Waste Management Authority and Penn Waste 60 tiny cans. And so this is what this is. So this pilot program is going to have these on every house, like every second house. And the understanding is that when they get full, they'll dump them in their trash, and we will come by and pick that trash up. So this is just one of the many programs that the city has enacted to address litter. We obviously have heard a lot about how much this is costing. This is a way to address litter here in the city of Lancaster. And we're really excited about working along with our state partners with this creative thinking and neighborhood engagement to strengthen our neighborhoods and really have a litter-free Lancaster. And so I just want to thank Jack again, and Ellen, and Mike and your team, as well as Steve Campbell, our Director of Public Works, who is responsible for keeping the city clean and beautiful. We appreciate all of the neighborhoods, volunteers, and all of the folks who said yes to having a tiny can on their porch. Thanks for being here today, and I will turn it back to the program.
Introduce yourself.
I have to unload these. These are quite heavy. My name is Shannon Ryder. I am the president of Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful. And I just have to say, I've been doing this a really long time. We have been working with volunteers since the early 1990s, cleaning up litter along the side of the road, cleaning up illegal dumping. To hear this issue elevated to the point where we have all of these state officials talking, I could cry. Like, it has been a long time coming. I know many people in the room, and I'm just so grateful for all of the work that has been done. So today I'm here, and I'm honored to present the National State Agency Partnership Award to Secretary McDonnell and Deputy Secretary LaWerse. The Department of Environmental Protection has been an invaluable partner to Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful since its inception, providing resources and expertise that enable tens of thousands of volunteers to participate in thousands of community improvement events, cleanups, and plantings in all 67 counties each year. Penndot supports Pickup Pennsylvania by utilizing its network of over 7,000 adopt-a-highway groups to promote and encourage participation and distribute bags, gloves, and safety vests for our volunteers, again, in all 67 counties through their facilities. And these supplies are desperately needed by volunteers. Both agencies were integral partners in the research that was highlighted today. The Pennsylvania Litter Research Study and the cost of litter and illegal dumping in Pennsylvania, which the city of Lancaster participated in. Both agencies, again, were integral partners in that. So these studies, as the governor said, are the foundation for the recommended tailored strategies and initiatives to combat litter within our communities, in addition to providing the basis for future measurements of progress. So Keep Pennsylvania, again, and I personally am grateful for your leadership, your partnership, and your agency's shared commitment to a clean and beautiful Pennsylvania. So if we could present. Okay, here's the Penndot. Let me get my mask back on for the pictures. Again, these are National State Agency Partnership Awards, and you guys have been such great friends. So thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else? Fine for me. Okay, so happy to take questions. And thank you very much. Are you Ellen? You're Ellen. Thank you very much. How come you're sitting over there? Aren't you sitting there? Okay. Any questions?
Well,
Yeah.
how is this different from past efforts to reduce litter?
I'm not sure, because I'm not sure exactly what past efforts were, but I think we've dropped the ball. And I think when, at least when I was growing up, and I don't want to age myself either, but there were a lot of national campaigns against litter, and I think what we found is that, you know, when you do that, people really respond. But if you sort of drop the ball and stop pushing it, the sense of intensity goes away. And that's really important because, again, Pennsylvania is a beautiful state, but we're hiding that beauty under a mound of litter, and it doesn't have to be this way. It's expensive. It violates all kinds of things. I mean, Carrie Lepore is interested in tourism, but she's also in the Department of Community and Economic Development. It hurts economic development, not to mention just the eyesore that it is, the tax dollars that are wasted. There are a lot of reasons why we need to get back to just paying attention to this. Yes?
With a little bit of background, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
And the background pertains to this little project where there's 35 cans installed right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to remark that these are not standalone things that a nonprofit did. It requires cooperation and support with the municipalities. And in this particular case, tree trimming, sidewalk grinding, help on all sorts of things that complement this, so the litter initiative doesn't have to stand on its own.
Right.
Have been key, and I was wondering if you could remark a little bit, provide some remarks about the nature of public-private partnerships, particularly in urban environments and neighborhoods which have this.
Thank you. That's almost like a set of questions. It's a great software. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. I've been in politics now for 7 years. Before that, I was in a business over across the ocean in York. And I took this seriously. So in terms of a public-private partnership, we did care about things like the litter, but we cared about things that went beyond that. I remember one of the things was a particular issue for me was that chewing gum on the sidewalk. You know, those black spots on the sidewalk? That's chewing gum. So there's some cities like Chicago that actually have a fetish about that. They go out every night and clean up chewing gum. So I went out and bought a power washer and gave it to the city and hired somebody to just go around and spend the entire time taking those things off the sidewalk. All this stuff sounds like it's kind of trivial. It's really not. I mean, our infrastructure really depends on keeping chewing gum off the sidewalk. We depend on keeping those cigarette butts. That's the biggest numerical source of litter in Pennsylvania, those cigarette butts. You just throw those out. You don't think about it. Well, they don't biodegrade. We need to think about the aesthetics of our lives in so many different ways. I think the private sector probably is in terms of businesses, but down to the individual level, is concerned about this as anybody else. You don't want your kids, or you don't want to walk down the street, after dinner and be forced to look at anything that is displeasing, that is just disgusting, gross. And so this is one of those things that I think, in terms of public-private partnerships, it goes well beyond just businesses and private businesses in the public sector. It's down to the level of the individual. We can each play a big role in keeping things clean, aesthetically pleasing. This is a really great example about, it might seem like a small thing. It's not. It's a really big thing because it's going to give people the ability to do something with their trash, and the marginal cost to the city is going to be probably next to nothing, right? And yet cleaning up this stuff would be a big cost, millions of dollars. So I don't know if I answered the question, but
I would like to cheat a little bit and thank the people that allowed this to be prototyped and built. That includes the city and Love Your Block. It includes Penn Waste, Laxwama, and Keep America Beautiful. Who else?
Who else did we miss?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not forget Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Locate in Pennsylvania. What kind of message are we sending when you come across the state border and see garbage, you see litter? So it's a drain. It's also a drain on taxpayer dollars. Cleaning up the streets. $68.5 million. That's $68.5 million that could be going to support organizations like Tech Central, could be going to support education, could be actually. Now, the nice thing about this is it's something we can all have something to do with. It's not something we can just point the finger and say it's someone else's job. And that's why I'm proud to be here today. Today, we're a beautiful place for all of us to live and work and raise our families. So I want to thank everybody who played a role, and we'll be hearing from some of them later today, this morning, for studying the problems that litter can cause and bringing forth common sense solutions, things we dispose of your trash properly. Speaking to all my fellow Pennsylvanians here, you're fighting litter. When you safely pick up and dispose of trash around your home, around your business, or around your school, even if you're just walking in there, when you spread awareness about the problem with litter and the best ways to prevent it, you're fighting litter, and you're doing a great thing for our native state. I encourage everyone to read the Pennsylvania Litter Action Plan on DEP's website, Department of Environmental Protection.
Moving into microplastics and the plastic wrap that rain can carry through a storm drain to the fish in our streams and rivers. Based on this research, the Litter Action Plan is Pennsylvania's roadmap to reduce littering. Two things jump out. First, some of our communities are doing very innovative and hard work to reduce litter locally. City of Lancaster being amongst those, is moving through the regulatory process as we speak, adopted earlier this month by our Environmental Quality Board. This rulemaking will help ensure that Pennsylvanians living in areas where there is no economic have already brought to cleaning up litter in their communities. We'll turn a corner on Pennsylvania's trash problem and gain the personal, community, and economic benefits of a healthier environment.
We can assure we have right litter reducing tools in place in our public facing facilities. We have been working with DEP and the Department of Community and Economic Development on an anti-litter campaign that you heard about, Operation Clean Sweep, which reinforces a zero tolerance mindset with litter enforcement and shares anti-littering messages year round. We're grateful this operation is continuing.
Noticing that there were trash bags hanging off of our residents' porches. And oh, what are they about? Oh, well, that's the solution to picking up and encouraging people to pick up litter. And so this makeshift litter receptacle was manufacturer had a prototype made and hatched a plan to address litter block by block, which is in keeping with the strategic plan of the city to create a stronger, more equitable community block by block. And this is what they've created, this little prototype here. And we are prototyping this on Pershing Avenue. It is a branded Pershing Avenue Clean. And this is going to hang on the front of porches down the 500 block of Pershing Avenue. And we are so excited that this is locally manufactured, an idea that came from our residents that our team elevated in partnership with Jack and his wife, Ellen, to launch with the Lancaster County Solid Waste Management Authority and Penn Waste 60 tiny cans. And so this is what this is. So this pilot program is going to have these on every house, like every second house, and we will come by and pick that trash up. So this is just one of the many programs that the city has enacted to address litter. We obviously have heard a lot about how much this is costing. This is Lancaster, and we're really excited about working along with our state partners with this creative thinking and neighborhood engagement to strengthen our neighborhoods and really have a litter-free Lancaster. And so I just want to
sidewalk grinding, help on all sorts of things that complement this, so the litter initiative doesn't have to stand on its own, have been key. And I was wondering if you could remark